What I'm saying is that I'm not giving myself the pressure of perfecting. Like there are times when I miss a word or mispronounce a word on a video.
Right.
And it's like, I'm not going to re-record the video for that because at that time it felt right. And people can forgive that. And I think that's what I mean, that just living for creating something of high value and high quality, but not putting the fear of something that's actually going to block you from ever getting it to market.
And I don't think any entrepreneur launching a business is ever going to feel like their work is 100%.
No way.
When it's your baby and you're looking at it, if you were waiting for 100%, it just would never happen.
No,
you can't think of it that way. You just can't. And I think about that even with when we launched our first product. Again, like there's so many things I wanted to do differently, but at the same time, like you also want to put it out into the world and see how people respond to it because you want to learn from that and grow from that and build from that. So the same way I started that with the hashtag, my YouTube channel, to the hashtag of launching Live Tinted as a community, I treated our first product that way too. And I mean, fingers crossed it's going well.
Yeah, I think it's going amazing.
Yeah.
Like it's awesome. And I love the branding, and I know Radhi was in the video too. Which is very fun because Radhi doesn't love being in front of cameras.
Which makes no sense because she could be an IRL model. Let's be real. Everyone knows that.
But it's amazing. And I love that it was very real.
Yeah.
Like when I saw it, because I'd never seen it from what Radhi showed me when she was there with you, but I saw it the day it all launched 3 weeks ago. And I was just like, oh, I love the song. Like I love the look and feel of everyone in the video. None of it felt pretentious. And I see beauty ads all the time. Like we see beauty ads all the time.
Yeah. And that's the point, right?
Like, and it didn't feel like that. And I'm not just saying that because you're my friend. I'm saying that because that's how I felt. And I was just like, oh, this is real. And I'm glad that I've just found out from which I didn't know, the release was scrappy.
Yeah.
Because I think it feels real and it feels authentic and genuine.
But you know what? The thing is like, I feel like if we didn't do it that way, like, it wouldn't be what I want the brand to be. Like, think about, you just said it yourself. There is a million beauty brands out there. What is the point and purpose of just putting out another one? There has to be something bigger than a beauty product. There has to be something that you want to change. And that's in any aspect of whatever business you're building. What drives me and keeps me going is thinking like, we are actually making momentum in this industry to make it so literally it's not an option to not feature only one type of person in a campaign. It's not an option anymore. You have to make it so you're being truly inclusive. And I think that's what excites me more than anything is that girls see themselves with quote unquote flaws, which to me are really just like the best parts about people. And I think the more that we share people's stories and give people voices, these are all women. That's why I think we've been able to grow at the rate that we have, is these are all women who have been dying to finally be heard and get their voices heard. And I think, you know, I can't tell you how many investors, how many mentors all told me that I was crazy to want to launch it this way. I mean, so many. And I think that's one of those things that you should get advice from other people in your lives, of course, that you trust. But at the end of the day, it's your vision and your gut feeling that has to make the final call.
Oh, that's so true.
Has to.
So true. And it's funny how that gut and intuition kind of gets quieter and quieter as things get bigger and bigger.
It's so hard.
Like it's almost like as things get bigger, you almost feel like, oh, I don't know how to do this, so I've got to listen to someone else.
I used to go to like 5 or 6 different people and they all had different opinions. And then that just added voices and noises into your own head. And it actually, to be honest, even during the building process, there was certain people's advice I took that was so different from what I wanted. So different. I am so glad that before we executed and launched, I had like a mentor snap me and say, where's the Deepika in this brand? And what she meant by the Deepika is that where is the bubbly personality, the fun, the vibrancy, the girl that people have been following for 3 years who now wanted to launch something bigger than herself. It's so easy to lose yourself. And that's what happened with all the voices and noises in my head. And I think when I had that person, thank God, like snap that into my brain, I just remembered, wow, I want this to be a brand that's about happiness and people to feel like just like positive and good, because the beauty space can be really isolating. It just can. And I think, you know, just the media in general can be isolating. If I can do one thing with this beauty brand and it's make one person out there, and I feel like you must feel the same way. If I can make one person out there feel like they can be exactly who they are and feel good about that, then like I'm doing what I want to do. I really feel that way. It's really not about the beauty product. And I think that's the best part about building this business.
I love that.
It really is.
I love that. Tell me a bit about the biggest things you think you have to think about for someone who's thinking of starting a business. What if you had to say there were 3 things that I know have been really important to launch this business well? What have been those 3 big things? Apart from obvious things like getting funding or whatever, but just 3 key core principles that you think have made a huge difference to a successful launch.
The first thing that comes to mind is cutting out the noise. There's a lot of things that I used to do that I don't do anymore. And that includes people in my life that I now recognize. And this is why I basically live at this home, is because I'm telling you, if there is even an inkling in you that somebody is negative energy, they're negative energy. And you need to cut that person out of your life yesterday. And I've always been the girl that had a million best friends. And like, I love being around people. Like I said, I'm an extrovert and I thrive on other people's energy. But the wrong energy can take you way down the wrong place. So I would say the first thing is cut out the noise, and whatever that means in your own way, like the people, the distractions, the habits. I don't go out like I used to go out. I hang out with my family more than I ever have. And my close friends, I've really dwindled it down to a core group of people. And you have to. There's not enough, time is so finite that I would say the first thing is cut out the noise. The other thing I would say is, I think the whole being scrappy thing is something to emphasize. Like, I would say like the whole making a business plan thing, I personally don't believe in that, because to me, my experience the past 10 years, I think, is a business plan. Like, I don't think you have to put pen to paper in that sense of like, I was always taught that. Like, I was a business, like in undergrad, I was a business major, and it was like, create this like formalized business plan, blah, 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 blah. I think that that's just like, there's a difference between brainstorming and doing like a whole like whiteboard situation versus like anything of that like fanciness.
Yeah.
Be scrappy. Just put things out there, see feelers, do tests and see what happens with that, So I would say, cut the noise and be scrappy. And maybe I would say like support system, which kind of goes into like cutting the noise, but I can't emphasize that enough, because, and that for me, it was my community, but whatever a support system is to you, it is so crucial, because whatever you see online, don't believe it. It is the toughest journey you'll ever go on, but it's the most rewarding journey you'll ever go on. And it is so worth it. Yeah. But I wouldn't have gotten through it if it wasn't for my support system. I still, every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah, I was going to touch on that, because I know we talk a lot about like the psychological impact of like starting a business, growing a brand, whatever it is. It's hard work. And a lot of people burn out, right? A lot of people get totally stressed, totally burn out, and they lose themselves in the process. Yeah. And you're so right. I think you've hit the nail on the head already, that just being around the right people, being around the right energy, changing your practices and habits to suit that bigger goal, right? It's not a sacrifice.
No.
Because it's supporting that bigger goal.
Yeah, it takes a long time to realize that. Like, I will tell you, like, I mean, I talk to your wife and you about it all the time, is that like, there really is this, a difference that just the way you start your day can change the whole trajectory of your day. And, I hear your videos and I like know it, but for somebody who doesn't practice it, it's so easy to pick up my phone and just start working. Yeah. And I think for me, like it really is a thing of baby steps, because the second you try to say, I'm gonna stop drinking and going out and just like working out and eating healthy and try to do all of these 50 things at once, you end up doing none of them.
Totally.
Like, it's just not happening. And I think I was always that extremist. I'm always like 0 or 100. Yeah, Rodney was telling me that yesterday. I really am that person.